used to be a Weird Warriors kid. Now I'm a Weird Warriors adult. Each week I'm discussing a chapter of the iconic books by Aaron Hunter. My name is Charlie, and in today's episode I will be talking about Prophecies Begin, Book 1, Into the Wild, Chapter 21. Join me on this adventure into the world of warrior cats. A quick reminder that if you'd like access to the comments section and bonus episodes and extended spoiler versions of each episode, you can subscribe for just $5 a month on Substack. Now on with the episode. The chapter art for chapter 21 is a cat stalking a mouse. And in my notes for this episode, I have a few things that I realized I want to talk about while I was editing last week's episode. So the first thing is I wanted to look up what Brindle is, because we've been reading about the character Brindleface, and I'm trying to picture what that even is. So Brindle. Oh, it's showing a type of dog. Wikipedia says that Brindle is a coat coloring pattern in animals, particularly dogs, cattle, guinea pigs, cats, and rarely horses. It is sometimes described as tiger striped, although the brindle pattern is more subtle than that of a tiger's coat. Let's look up brindle cat. Okay. I feel like it's just showing tabby cats and tortoiseshell cats. So I don't know really what the difference between all these patterns are, but we're just going to move on. I thought it was going to be like a type of plant or something. Now, another thing I wanted to mention is that I realized that maybe the reason Spotted Leaf felt the urgency to tell Firepaw about the prophecy was because maybe somehow she sensed that she was about to die. So yeah, I was just wondering if somehow she knew she had to tell him now or she wouldn't get a chance to ever again. But anyway, the chapter begins with Frostfur screeching, "Yellowfang has killed Spotted Leaf and taken my kits." And Tiger Claw says, "I always knew she was a traitor. Now we know how she managed to fight off the Shadow Clan deputy. It was a setup to let her trick her way into our clan." He's really jumping to some conclusions here. It's also bold of him to accuse someone else of being a traitor when he is a traitor himself. And a storm is starting with loud thunder and flashes of lightning. But Firepaw wonders, could Yellowfang really have killed Spotted Leaf? And everyone looks to Blue Star, and she says, "If Yellowfang has killed Spotted Leaf and stolen Frostfur's kits, she will be hunted down without mercy." Hi, Lucky. But we must wait. There is a storm coming, and I am not prepared to risk more lives. If Shadow Clan has our kits, they will come to no immediate harm. I suspect Broken Star wants them as recruits for his own clan, or as hostages to force us to let him hunt in our territory. As soon as the storm has passed, a patrol will follow Yellowfang and bring back our kits. Those are some good theories, because I was wondering why they didn't find the kids' bodies. Like, you'd think Broken Star would just have the kids killed to get rid of the competition, but I can see how he might want them alive to use as pawns for other reasons. The Tiger Claw says, "We cannot waste time or the scent will be lost in the rain." But Blue Star says, "In this weather, the scent will already be lost by the time we are ready. If we wait until after the storm, we stand a better chance of success." And the clan seems to be in agreement of this plan. And Blue Star invites Tiger Claw, for a meeting to discuss this further, but she also signals for Firepaw to speak to her alone first. They meet in Spotted Leaf's clearing, where Firepaw remembers the last time he saw her there, and he closes his eyes to preserve the memory. Bluestar asks Firepaw if he knows where Yellowfang is, and he tells her that he saw her going through the camp boundary. He asks if she thinks Yellowfang killed Spotted Leaf, and Bluestar says she doesn't know, but that she wants him to find her and bring her back, alive. I need to know the truth. This is what I love about Bluestar, is that she is fair. She believes in justice and truth, and making sure she understands the full story before making her final judgments. Firepaw asks, "You're not sending Tiger Claw?" And she says, "Tiger Claw is a great warrior, but in this case, his loyalty to the clan may cloud his judgment." Now, this is really interesting because she's right to be hesitant about Tiger Claw's judgment, but it's for the wrong reason. It's not because of his loyalty to the clan, but rather... Oh, there goes the podcast mascot. But anyway, the thing is that Tiger Claw is not loyal to the clan. He killed Redtail. So I'm not quite sure why he's so set on blaming Yellowfang. Maybe he believes that she did this, maybe he doesn't. But I don't think it really matters to him. He just wants to have a cat to blame and to get any kind of risk of any kind of blame going in his direction. And Bluestar even says herself, "If Tiger Claw thinks he can reassure the clan by handing them the dead body of Yellowfang, that's what he will do." And Firepaw knows she's right. Bluestar says, "If I find that Yellowfang is a traitor, then I will kill her myself. But if she is not, I will not let an innocent cat die." And Firepaw asks, "But what if Yellowfang doesn't want to come back?" "She will, if you ask her." Now, this answers the question I was wondering while reading this conversation. Like, why is Bluestar giving Firepaw this special treatment? It's because she knows that Firepaw has a special connection with Yellowfang and that she would listen to him. So Bluestar orders him to go at once. So Firepaw runs across the clearing, and on his way, he decides to share tongues with Spotted Leaf one last time. He buries his nose in her wet fur. "Goodbye, my sweet Spotted Leaf." And then he overhears Frostfur and Speckletail, which, is this the first time we're hearing of Speckletail? I don't remember. But they're talking about how they think Yellowfang had help from someone in ThunderClan and that they suspect it is Ravenpaw. So Tiger Claw's plan of getting everyone to be suspicious of Ravenpaw is coming together. So Firepaw hurries over to the spot where he last saw Yellowfang, and he's about to leave ThunderClan camp when he hears Greypaw call out for him. And they have this conversation where Firepaw explains the truth about why he's leaving to go get Yellowfang. And I feel like this scene with the rain and everything, it just feels very cinematic. Like I can totally picture it in a movie or TV show as they talk dramatically back and forth. Like I'm picturing the angles. I can imagine the music playing dramatically in the background as they're talking to each other. It's just like I can't wait to see an official adaptation of this story. And then they see Frostfur chasing Ravenpaw away from the nursery. Greypaw asks what that's about, and Firepaw tells Greypaw that Ravenpaw is in danger and they need to think of a place where Ravenpaw can escape. And Greypaw suggests Barley, and Firepaw thinks that's a great idea. So they go to get Ravenpaw. Now, I forgot that Ravenpaw leaving ThunderClan to go live with Barley was Firepaw and Greypaw's idea. I thought it was Ravenpaw's idea and that he just ran away on his own and decided to go live with Barley. But no, it's something his friends thought of and suggested for him to do for his safety. And I think that's really sweet. So then they go over to get Ravenpaw and tell him the plan, and he agrees. And just as they're about to leave, Tiger Claw says, "You three, where are you going?" And they turned around, and Blue Star hurries toward them, frowning for a moment, and then her face cleared. "Well done, Firepaw. I see you've persuaded your two friends to go with you. ThunderClan has brave apprentices, Tiger Claw, if they are willing to run an errand in weather like this." Blue Star is amazing. She really thought quick on her feet. And Tiger Claw objects, but Blue Star says that one of Brindleface's kits is sick and they're going to get a specific herb to help the kit. And Tiger Claw is like, does he really need his friends to go? And she's like, well, he should feel lucky to have the company in this weather. So she's just really coming up with all these excuses really quickly. And she's like, off you go, you three. And so they hurry off, finally leaving ThunderClan along the paths to Four Trees, across the stream, which is a lot higher than usual because of the rain, and toward WindClan. And along the way, Firepaw tells Greypaw that Tiger Claw killed Redtail, and since Ravenpaw saw it happen, that's why Ravenpaw is in danger from Tiger Claw. Greypaw asks, but why would Tiger Claw kill Redtail? And Firepaw says, I don't know. Maybe he thought Blue Star would make him deputy. Greypaw didn't reply, but his face darkened. And that sentence makes me think maybe Greypaw is thinking of Lionheart in that moment. And then Firepaw explains how he heard Tiger Claw telling Darkstripe and Longtail he wants to get rid of Ravenpaw, and how Tiger Claw's been hinting to everyone that Ravenpaw is a traitor, so that's why he'll be safe with Barley. And by that time, they're in the open expanse of WindClan territory, and they can't talk anymore at that point because it's just too loud with all the wind and thunder. And now they're in the heart of the storm at the end of WindClan's territory, and Firepaw says they can't go any further. Ravenpaw has to go the rest of the way on his own, because they need to find Yellowfang before the storm is over. And Ravenpaw worries, how can you be sure Barley will welcome me? Just tell him you caught an adder once, answered Greypaw, nudging his friend affectionately. Firepaw says, go. And don't worry, I'll make sure everyone knows you didn't betray ThunderClan. Ravenpaw asks, what if Tiger Claw comes looking for me? And Firepaw says, he won't. I shall tell him you are dead. And that's the end of chapter 21. Oh my god, it's such a good chapter. I feel like it's a short one, but it is also eventful. We're coming so close to the end of this book. I'm so excited. I don't remember how this book ends. I don't remember what the climax of it is. I don't remember what happened to the kits, but we'll see. Another reminder that if you want access to bonus content, extended spoiler versions of each episode, and the comment section, then you can subscribe for just $5 a month on Substack. But otherwise, thank you so much for listening and or watching. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next week. This has been Into the World of Warrior Cats.